Interested in working remotely from home with the ability to set your own schedule? Then contact Notary to Notary. Our online training program teaches individuals everywhere how to create and run successful notary businesses nationwide. Whether you're looking for supplemental or full-time income, we'll teach you the benefits of being a business owner, including time and financial freedom. Visit NotaryToNotary.com to learn more about our training program.
Hey guys, have you had a chance to get a copy of my new book, The Ultimate Ron Guide? If you are ready to build a remote online notary business, then this book is what you need. In this book, I give you all the information that you need to know in order to build a successful remote online business, no matter what state you're in, as long as your state authorizes remote online notarizations. Head on over to Amazon today and get your copy. You'll be glad you did. Isaiah's book bag in here by chance? Hey guys, it is Happy Leap Year. Is it Happy Leap? No, Happy Leap Day. It's Happy Leap Day. Happy Leap Day. First of all, who stole all of my blue pens? Somebody stole my blue pens. I don't know, but I can't find them. It's all good though. Hey guys. All right, so yesterday we did some, oh man. I have to do a correction on a document. I just thought about that. I made a boo-boo. And see, even the best make boo-boos. Even the best make boo-boos. So I need to do a correction on this document. Hey, Tamika. I made a boo-boo that I need to fix. But first, should I fix the boo-boo first or prep the loan docs? Fix the boo-boo, prep the loan docs. Let's fix the boo-boo. All right, let's take this AirPod out because it's going to keep talking to me. And we won't get anything done. Okay, so we're going to do some loan doc prep. So I sealed this up to drop this morning. Hey, Bubba! And I realized, well, they messaged me and said, hey, you had an error. The key is to fix your errors as soon as possible. So what the mistake was, okay, so you know in a notarial section, sometimes you'll have pre-printed names for whose signature you're notarizing. If there's a person's name in that notarial section that you did not actually notarize, unless I'm just using mailaways, which is what it was, you have to mark it through. I missed it, yeah. All right, so I only did one person. One single line. Uh-oh, come on with the pen. Let's go, Mr. Pen. Okay, and then you just put one single line to the person's name you did not notarize. Perfect. And then we're going to do it again. There's 2 pages that need to be corrected. Okay, I missed that. Okay, the notary public or online, personally, physically, no. Okay, cool. All right, cool. All right, so that's done. That was a quick fix. And then I just rescan the whole package. And then I need to put this in a new doc. Okay, so that gets rescanned and uploaded. All right, so now we're going to prep. So this closing that I'm doing today is the one that I said pays $240. And it's a double up signing. So it's a couple different properties closing at one time. But I'm only doing like a select handful of the docs. It's called a hybrid close. So you basically, they signed all their documents pretty much online except for the ones that need to be notarized. So you are only pretty much doing the ones that are notarized, which if you do loan docs on a consistent basis, it's only like 5 to 10 at the most. All right, so what I'm going to do is with these, I like to be really organized. Now, you don't have to do this. You could definitely just print them all off, get them signed, ship them all back. But I like excellence, okay? If you like excellence, type excellence in the chat because we like excellence, okay? We like excellence. All right, so let's do this. You ready? Boom, boom, boom. So there's 4 properties. So what I'm gonna do is just write down the 4 properties. That way I can make sure my docs stay organized. And then I'm gonna show you. It's probably gonna take me like 5 minutes to prep these. These are the only kind of docs that I usually like prep, like really prep, because it could get confusing for sure at a closing if you didn't prep it in advance. So all right, focus. This is the first set. All right, so yes, excellence. All right, so make sure you guys can't see docs. Okay. Oh, I did want to reprint these. So I want to reprint these. Let me see. It's only a handful of docs I need to get done. And I think they put a label in for each property, which I don't really think we need to do if it's all going to the same title, but it could be going to a different title. So let's see. It might be going to a different title, but we're going to do what they want us to do. All right, so this was the first property. And what I'm going to do, this is my copy, the copy we're going to execute. I'm going to use my little, hey, Xavier. I got a text from Xavier today. I don't know if that's the same Xavier. If it is, just know that I did get your text. I will definitely get back with you. Let's see. All right, so this is the set we're going to execute. And then we'll do a borrower's copy. Okay, so let's get a borrower's copy printed of this. Okay, we're going to print a borrower's copy really quick. Print, borrower's copy, and print borrower's copy. Okay, so now we're printing off our borrower's copy. And I have these really cute envelopes that I'm going to use. Hold on, what? I lost you. You're somewhere here. So I have these really cute. It was me who texted, hey! Okay, so I'm going to use these. And these really cute. I got these from Walmart. Aren't they so cute? Very important. My mom got it from Walmart. Super cute, super cute. Okay, so this is going to be the client copy they're going to keep. And so we'll put that there. Let me just get all my binder clips out because we can make sure we're ready to rock and roll. All right, so we got binder clips. And then, okay, borrower's copy. I wonder if I'm going to put each one in its own folder. I am going to put each one in its own folder because it's, I think, yeah. Yeah, might as well. Do I want to? Yeah. All right, so this is the first one. This is, all right, so that's her borrower's copy. Let me grab some FedExes. Hold on. Okay, so it is going out FedEx, but I'm out of FedEx labels. Again, it was so funny because the gentleman that was at UPS or FedEx, he was like, what did he say to me? He said, I took a package off, and I go there all the time. I took the package off, and I said, it's okay. I don't need a receipt. He said, I don't need this UPS envelopes either, but look what you gave to me. I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I said I ran out. So he gave me a whole stack, but I used them already. Oops, sorry. I think you probably can order supply. I've never ordered supplies from FedEx. I will order them and see if it's the same process. Has anyone ever ordered supplies from FedEx and know if it's the same process? Okay. So you don't give a shipping label to your signers. The only time I ever give a shipping label to my signers is if they, well, that's when I didn't have my title producer's license. So in Virginia, in order to collect funds, you have to have a title producer's license. You do not need it in Virginia and Maryland. You do, and no, you don't need it anywhere else. But okay, all right. Borrower's copy and closing docs are done for the first property. Now we move on. First property done. Moving on to the second property, which we have here. Okay. And this is a blue ink sign. Where are the properties? It's a blue ink sign. Title just wants a blue ink, so we're going to give him blue ink. Why is this? This is... So it could definitely take a minute sometimes to... Ingram. I did that already. No, you didn't. Someone was with me yesterday. They said you could talk to yourself, just don't answer yourself. I said, oop. What happens when you answer yourself? Whoop. All right, hold on. I'm on Willis. Willis. Sometimes you gotta do a double take. All right, I don't think I printed this. Unless I printed it on the front. All right, but I can do questions. If you guys have questions, just put it in the chat. That way I can okay, perfect. That's right. Okay, perfect. And print that one more time for me. And then I just need this and print this. It probably printed out there. Shout out to Tamika who fixed my printer yesterday. If y'all need printer services, printer help services, Tamika, I'm just kidding. She's like, Vanessa, why would you do that? What? It's not my fault. You're talented, girl. These notaries gonna need you out here fixing their printers. I could not get one of my printers to print, and she got it all together. Oops. All right, so second property's done. All right, so it's 4 properties closing at one time. So I like to be organized when I walk in there, keep it real smooth and simple. But like I said, it's a hybrid, so everything is pretty much signed online. We're just doing basically like the deed and the note. So a few other disclosures that get notarized, but it's real quick and easy. I would say each, not even kidding, this whole thing, this will probably take, I would say that, so I look at one point at a time. This right here, 5 minutes, maybe 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, 20 to 30 just for pleasantries. So we can exchange pleasantries. Hi, my name is Vanessa. So nice to meet you. How are you? Oh, that's it. Because any of the deed is what's the longest. The deed is like 20 pages. So take the bulk of it. Yeah, we're out of here. We're out of here. Out of here, guys. We're out of here. We are out of here. All right, let me get this on the printer. Hold on. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. If you have questions about your notary business, just put it in the chat. What kind of printer do you use? I have an HP, and I have a couple HPs, and then I have a devastated. My printer's running out of ink. I put the little white line in it. All right, hold on. Come on. Really? You couldn't do that later? Okay, let me get this right. Hold on. Where am I? Nope. All right, didn't I finish this? I finished that one. So let's close that out, because now you're just being a distraction. That's what you're being. But yeah, I use a HP. Yeah. All right, this is done. I'm making sure that I completed it. Trash it. It's trash now. It's trash. I found it. That's the next one. Boop. Okay. I'm just trying to find The one I just printed, I just need to reprint it. That's all. I don't feel like I'm asking for a lot. But I got to print it on my other printer now because this one's acting funky. This one's acting funky. Okay. All right. So, and then I got to change the cartridge, the toner in it. The toner in it. This is right? This is right. Is it right? Yeah. Okay, bet. All right, look, that's solid. Solid. All right, cool. So the one that I printed off that the ink was not right, I'm going to shred. So you all should have a shredder too, because any docs you can't use, you do need to shred it for security reasons for your signer. Okay, do you assign loans LL students in Pennsylvania? So it doesn't matter where you took your training. We do give preference to notary students. So if you took the notary to notary exam, that puts you as preferred, but doesn't mean you can't get work from us. So if you get work from us and you do a great job, then we can still add you as preferred, but it just depends. So, but the way we send our orders out is preferred and then approved, and then everybody else gets it. What is this? Oh, hey. I think of your name. Wait, no, I'm thinking of Lori. But I think you guys have a really business notary name. But yeah, so definitely just make sure you have a profile on signing order. That's how we send our work out. Okay. All right. I'm almost done. I think. 2 minutes. All right. So this one's going to be a shreddy. We're going to shred that. Shreddy. This one's done, but I need 2 sets. So this will be borrower's copy. Borrower's copy, and we'll call it Willis. I'm almost done. And then we can do questions. Well, you can do your questions in the chat now. Any particular model, as long as the dual trade laser jet, you're good. You're solid. Solid as a rock. Mad. I just printed this, and I literally have the copy right here. Mad. It's okay. Vanessa, relax. I'm just saying. I don't ask for a lot. All right. So you can ship your packages in either envelope. It doesn't matter. FedEx will still ship in a UPS. You can still ship in a FedEx. They like it when you don't do that. But it doesn't matter. You can even ship it in a blank envelope. It doesn't matter. But it goes by the label. What does the label say? All right. So this is my Willis. All right, I need a borrower's copy, so I'm going to put that there. All right, so while that's printing, then I'll move on to the next one. The next one we have is, let's make sure I have title docs. So you're looking for lender docs and title docs. I do. But sometimes, and I've actually had a notary do a closing for me, and she only had lender docs. And she was like, hey, I don't see title docs in here. And we were missing it. We had to get it, but for the signing service. But it's like that's another caliber of notary, the ones who know to look for title docs, because you're always going to have title docs. You're always going to have lender docs. If it's missing, just call, find out. Most notaries don't know to do that. That's a fun fact. Title docs are like the affidavits, the indemnity, holds harmless, the settlement statement. Match this up right. All right, that's that. All right, now we're getting somewhere. And you know why I'm still here? Because that brother's printing really slow. But it's okay. All right, it's going to print off my borrower's copy for that. All right, last one we have is movies. Okay, cool. This is what happens when you get envelopes that don't have the plasticky thing. Isn't that frustrating? It is. I ordered a new one from UPS the other day. I don't want to use this. But that does mean I have to get like a large FedEx one. I mean a large UPS one. I don't like the I just don't like it. Hold on. Dun, 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 dun. coming. Did you guys know we have class on Saturday? We have class on Saturday that is, this is what I was talking about. So this is the legal size one. So I don't use these unless I have legal docs, but you can. It's just when you can just use regular ones. Plus it won't fit in my briefcase. Me. All right. I think we're done here. Lender docs. Title docs. Let's make sure really quick. All right, perfect. All right, this one's done. All right, name. You gotta make sure because, and it's funny because they be down, they'll make sure like, hold on, we know this is a lot. Make sure you're good to go. But the more you do it, it's just like, all right. So all my executed docs are done. So executed, I'm saying that for the ones that we're gonna actually sign. Yeah, the one we're actually going to sign. And then, yeah, so I got 4 packages that's done to be signed. Let's check one more time. Oh, thank you, Barrington. Look how sweet that was. Now she's sleeping on the individual printers. Who said that? You sleeping on brother printers? I'm not messing with you. Let me look at one more time. Make sure I have lender docs. Make sure I have title docs. Okay. Because I'm telling you what I don't like. And it doesn't happen often because I really don't like it. I don't like getting to a signing and then realize I made a mistake as far as the docs being printed off. Whether it's like one of the pages was like out of ink, like when it started like that one, like when you look at the front, it was perfect. But then as you started going through, it was missing ink. So, or like if I sometimes your printer will just fluke and like one of the pages won't print out right. And it's like, come on. Now, granted, I do have my mobile printer and scanner now. Yay! Yes, Michelle. It's at notarytonotary.com. And there's a promo code right now. So this closing I'm doing today. Hold on a second. Let me not confuse myself. Hold on, guys. All right. The reality is when I get off this live, I'll look at it again. Because I gotta be sure. Okay. All right. All my executed copies are perfect. Now, let's do borrower's copies. All right. So borrower's copies for what is? There we go. Okay. Borrower's copy. I don't give my borrowers the shipping label or like notary instructions. I don't do that. But they get everything else. All right. So borrower's copy for. It's this song in my head. You guys you heard that song? It's a song from TikTok or Instagram. And it's like, this guy do the salsa, something. I can't think of how it goes, but it's like the beat is like stuck in my head. All right, this is borrower's copy for this one. I wish I could play it for you guys. Sometimes when I play music, you can't hear it on your side. All right, that's that. We're gonna shred that label. All right, let me hit the printer one more time and see what else is coming. I love that question. What is the difference between a notary at the bank and what you do? Honey, let's talk about it. Okay, hold on. Dun. Okay, so first of all, I'm so much nicer than the notary at the bank, but not seriously. So there is the notary at the bank and what we do. So we all have the same commission. So as far as being commissioned through your state, the notary at the bank has the same commission that I have. The difference is the notary at the bank is an employee of that bank. I am an independent business owner. So what does that mean? A couple things. A lot of times notaries at the bank don't get paid for what they do, even though most states legally have a clause, not all, that the bank still, if you want to get paid for the notary works, they have to give it to you. But they don't get paid what they do. They're a salary. We are our own business. we are mobile, we go places. So like, and then we have lots of tiers that we can do. So I do general notary work, loan closing, e-notary, non-notary work, which is all the jargon in the notary industry. So think of it like a, hold on, I'm gonna tell you. Hold on. Man, to give you an example, it's like notice the banks are like they're like niche. We do a whole lot more. So it's like we do the whole thing. So like for example, and then sometimes too, banks don't do everything. So banks a lot of times like they will only notarize their loan docs. So let's say for example, you have a loan package from Truist, but you bank with PNC. Typically, they won't notarize a Truist loan package. So that they can, they just don't want to, right? A lot of banks too won't do certain docs because as a commissioned notary, you can be summoned to court. And so let's say, for example, you notarize wills, POAs, power of attorneys and wills get what do you call it? It's a word I'm looking for. But anyway, they get disputed all the time. So you'll have to go to court. And so most banks don't want to have to, hey, okay, bye, Tamika. They don't want to have to go through that process of, you know, sending that employee to court and yada, yada. So they don't have to deal with that like issue too. And then on top of that, oh man, that's into our place. I did. Okay. We're mobile. So what we do is we go out to people. So a lot of people can't leave their house or they're in nursing homes, hospitals, or they're at work and they can't leave. Like I have a lot of executives who will call who just don't want to leave. They just come to me. Also we do, and then too, like a lot of times too, when you go certain places, they have rules for what can be notarized and what can't as per that facility, but even though it's not legal. Like, so say for example, some UPSs won't do power of attorneys, even though every notary can notarize a power of attorney. But they'll say reason. They'll say, oh, no, it's too much because then I have to send my employee to court if it gets contested. That's what it's contested. So they'll say, we don't do that. So as an independent notary, we do everything. So we work with estate planning attorneys and every other law firm. We, as independent contractors, we work with title companies, mortgage companies, real estate attorneys for real estate transactions where we will either have them come to us or we close their transactions at their home or wherever they want to meet at, or at title companies. We do e-notary, so it's remote online notary, so where you work from home or wherever you are and you notarize documents online. We do non-notary work, which could be weddings if your state allows for it. So we marry people. We do inspections. We do apostilles, which is foreign document documents authenticated for foreign use. So it's a lot in this space that we do. But the whole point behind it, and then a lot of times when you go to an independent notary, they're a lot more knowledgeable about the legalities, about, just about what we're doing, because most notaries at the bank, they are bankers. They're knowledgeable about checking accounts, savings accounts, bank stuff, right? So when you're a notary, you're knowledgeable about just this. So for example, if you walk into any bank, most likely in Virginia, if you walk into any bank and you don't have ID, it's a high possibility they're going to turn you away. High possibility. I'm going to say, I'm going to put myself on the line and say they're going to say it's a 100% chance they're not going to do it. But that's because the bank is not taking the time to know the law as per notarial works. They're not going to say, oh, well, there are other ways we can get it done. They're not here for that. They're not here for that. They're here for banking. So if you're someone who doesn't have ID, or you have just other different situations that's happening and you need to get something notarized and the bank can't do it, we still do it. So that's why I say it's important to go to a notary that's knowledgeable in the law, because even not all independent notaries are knowledgeable, right? Throw it out there. How many of you guys read your handbook? I'm just saying. And I say it all the time. All the time I say it. And how many of you guys heard me say it and still sitting under the side of my voice? That's what my pastor says. Everybody sitting on the side of my voice, and still haven't read your handbook. You know what I'm saying? And then even from there, from your handbook, we then go and read the code, the actual law itself. So that's why I said it's nothing really. Now we do have like notarial law that's pending, I believe, in Virginia. We're going to see if it passes, but there's no law. Not to say no, because you never know. I've read and reread most laws as it pertains to notarial work. I never say no law. That stuff can come out the woodworks, but I'm really familiar on most of the laws that exist in Virginia as it pertains to not just notary, but notary related documents. And that's the main difference. So the independent notary is really making a priority to really master their industry, and they offer way more services than the traditional notary at the bank. Boom! Shakalaka. I did a purchase agreement yesterday and have a refi today. Yay! Hey, Dominique! I haven't talked to you in a minute. Where have you been? My printer's still printing, but it's almost done. All right, so we're almost done here. So I'll have essentially, boop. These are my packages for the day. I think it just finished. Hold on. Not printing really slow. Okay, it's printing kind of slow, but the beautiful thing is that it's printing. That's the beautiful thing. I feel like we should do something for Leap Day. I just don't know what we should do. Something like cool for notary to notary. We have a class this Saturday. It's you can stream it or you can come in person. It's notary training and e-notary training. So we're teaching you how to build your notary business. And so the notary business is 10 to 12, and then e-notary is 1 to 3. And then next week we have, oh my God, there's so much coming up. I want to send an email out and put it on social so you guys can see it. I would highly recommend you guys go online to the events page for Notary to Notary so you can see that, what's going on, so you can stay in the know. But today my plan is to get all the stuff out to you guys so you know what's going on. We have a networking event next week too. And we have a real estate. How do I mute this for now? We have a real estate training event coming up. All right, that's that one. We got one more borrower's copy to print, and then we're done. And we're shredding labels. That's it. All my envelopes have labels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, we're good. What's the pending law for Virginia? You were about to mention, but didn't finish. I don't know. Someone was telling me about it, that we had something pending. I have to go look it up for about this, because they were trying to change the law. I think it was last year or 2 years ago. They were trying to change, making the journal required, because it's still not required in Virginia. And they were trying to implement a course to get your commission, because it's not also required. And then they were going to Maryland increase their fees. Shout out to Maryland. Let's go. They were trying to increase their notarial fees for e-notary. So, but that never went. It never did anything last year. So I don't know what they're doing this year. I have to look, but I'll just have to check and I'll let you guys know. That's why it's really important to stay up to date. Maryland made a lot of changes this year as of January. So if you're in Maryland or commissioned in Maryland, make sure you go online and just make sure you know what's going on for your state, because they have done some new things. Okay. All right. Yeah. And they sent me these docs in such a different way. It was like, wait a minute, but I got it. Boom. So the closing I'm doing today, Georgians called the $2 fee. Georgia has a $2 fee for what? That sounds weird. But it doesn't apply for loan closing. So I would just put myself in loan closing. And then with general notary, if you can charge travel. So make it up that way. In other words, you're trying to get more money. Yes. Okay. One more package to go. And then we'll be done. Okay. Here we go. All right, this is the last one, and then I'm going to, we're going to swap. All right, here we go. Last package. It's printing off the last little couple pages. We're going to shred that. Borrower's copy. Ta-da. Okay. So this is my closings for the day. Ah! I think it's done. This is my closing for the day. I'm going to show up like this, like, time to work. So I'm going to do it like this. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that. All right. So let me grab this last little set off the printer, and then I'll give you guys some updates of what's going on with Notary to Notary. We do have the class on Saturday and then the mastermind training on Sunday. We do that every Sunday for the group mastermind session. group mastermind session is Sunday at 6, and it's recorded, which basically is a coaching session. And it's really good for newbies, for experienced notaries, because it gives you an opportunity to connect with other notaries, and it's only $2.99 a month, like $2.99. That's it. Okay. That package is done. When I'm done talking with you guys, I'll do my edits, my scan for my edits. And I finished my prep for today. So that's the only closing I'm doing today, even though it's 4 closings in one. That's the only. Now, don't get me wrong. If something comes through, I'll do it. But yeah, if something comes through, I'll do it. But that's it. All right, so let's talk about what's going on in a notary to notary world. And if you guys have questions about anything, just let me know. So we are going to the NNA conference soon. I hope you guys are ready for that. What's your question? Miss Determined Bell. I was referring to you for a question that I had. Tell me the question. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to share screen. All right, here's the upcoming classes that we have. So this Saturday, we have a notary training and it's in person and virtual, so you can stream it. Notary training and then e-notary training. Next week on the 5th, there's a networking event. And then next Saturday, so the networking event is another event that's happening that week, but it's not on here. So I gotta figure out how I'm gonna put it on there. In-person training, again, next Saturday, apostille and field inspections training. If you want to learn how to do apostilles and field inspections for your notary business, that's a class for you. Another networking event on the 12th. Build your own notary request app. That's where and that one is only open to 20 people. So definitely don't wait till the last minute on that one. And this is just because it's a longer class. It's 11 to 4, and it just takes longer to go through the content to teach you guys. You're going to be doing it real time, building your own lead gen app. So it just takes longer to go through. So if you definitely want to do that, it's that basically an app will have an app store, and it will allow you to be able to generate leads for your notary business. The 16th, also that evening, we're going to do a signing service masterclass. If you want to learn how to build a signing service and to grow and scale it, then that's a class for you. Networking event the week after. General Notary Work Live. I gotta change that. It's the wrong date. But yeah, on the picture. So General Notary Work Live just shows you how to build business if you're not getting into loan closing. Maybe you did loan closing, but you really want to grow in other areas. We're gonna talk about General Notary Work. I'm gonna tell you exactly how to make money in that space. That's on the 23rd. Then another training for notary training here, notary networking, and then the boot camp. So intensive notary boot camp, that is coming up again on March 30th. That's where we train from 9 to 5, virtual or in person, and I teach you every single thing about the notary business in totality. And then this one, I think it still has an early bird. When you click the link, I think it's half off still. I think it ends this weekend, after this weekend, I think. When you go on the site, it'll tell you when the early bird special ends, and then give you a coupon code for it, for the boot camp. It is recorded, so you do get the replay whether you come in person or virtual. All the events are always recorded, except for the notary networking events. They're not recorded because they're not virtual. They're just in person. Everything else is recorded, and you do get the replay. And then, of course, in April, we're going to do our fingerprinting class again. So if you want to learn how to get into fingerprinting, that is the class for you. Whew. That's a lot. I'm trying to obtain my e-signature. I'm not sure how. Did you take my e-notary class? That's the first thing I'm going to say. The remote online notary training. Are you saying your e-seal or your digital certificate? So it's 2 different things. Your e-seal and your digital cert. So in the e-notary course, if you're in the e-notary course, we provide you your e-seal complimentary. If you're not in the e-notary course, it's $8.99. And then if you need your digital cert, we walk you through the process of getting it through IdenTrust, with how to get it, which one to get it, and how to use it. I have my e-seal, my e-certificate. So you don't need anything else. You don't need an e-signature. What are you talking about? Just call me, but you don't need an e-signature. So it's just a digital cert and it's a seal. Yeah, you don't need an e-signature. Are you just talking about an image of your signature? Is that what you're talking about? Like just your signature on an image? I have a notary program. Are there sample documents that we can print out in the program? Yes. All the loan docs are in there. You can print them off. Yeah. Boom. Shakalaka. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, cool. All right, let me get out of this one. Boop, boop. And make sure you guys go to notariesnerd.com and use promo code 2024. It gives you 50% off of the training. And yay, we did it though. That's why I said it's always important to ask questions. Like, I'm always available. Like, I call people back to just call me. Woo. But that is also the crack on the wall. I hope you guys learned a lot. I'm gonna figure out something we can do for Leap Day today. Did you guys know it's Leap Day? It's the 29th. Did you know that? Boop. I'm gonna find something that we can do for Notary. But until next time, you guys know how it goes. Happy signing, all of the above. I don't have anything that's going on that's coming up. Well, NNA Success Summit, but I'll tell you guys about that. And then the NNA conference, and then the Michigan Notary Consortium. I'll be there. Okay, I guess I got a couple things coming up, but I'm still in February. When we get to March, like, we're just starting March now. Okay, now we're starting March. Now we're getting into March. Okay, but I'll definitely keep you guys posted all the trainings to help you guys start making some money in this notary space. Okay, and I will in March. I know I said it a couple times. I'm gonna get some of y'all on here because I know a couple of y'all have been emailing me. Just tell me your successes and what the things you've been able to get done. So I said I like to put people on so you can see that it's not just me. People are making great money all across the country, even in loan closings. People are like, oh, there's no loans. Stop. Are you done? Are you done? Finished. Okay. It was funny. Tamika and I were talking yesterday. She was like, I keep getting assigned. What is she that? She was getting like 5 and 6 orders a day from this one company. I'm not going to put it on blast because, that's her company. And I was like, okay, let's go. Where do you go to print them out? So when you're in the course, there's a button at the top. So is it the docs? You can hit download, or I think you can even print from course. If not, then just download it first and then you can print it. If you can't find it when you're on the loan package itself, take a screenshot. Make sure you get the top and then send it to me, and then I'll circle the button that you would press and then send it back to you. Cool schmoo. I like it. All right, guys. That's also Clock on the Wall. Love you. Be great on purpose. Until next time, happy signing and all of the above. Boop. Hey, guys. Have you had a chance to get a copy of my new book, The Ultimate Ron Guide? If you are ready to build a remote online notary business, then this book is what you need. In this book, I give you all the information that you need to know in order to build a successful remote online business, no matter what state you're in, as long as your state authorizes remote online notarizations. Head on over to Amazon today and get your copy. You'll be glad you did.